As we're gearing up for the 2022 Permaculture Design Conference, we wanted to make a little video and tell you a little bit about our journey and how we got to this point.
So we both left high-paying oil and gas jobs, wanting to pursue earth care and really move the paradigm globally forward, initially in the energy space. But as we learned more about permaculture, we realized it wasn't just energy, it was energy, food, shelter, water, waste, the whole gamut that permaculture covers. And we've been at it now for close to 14 years, and it's been an incredible journey. There's been ups and downs. I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of quotes that have been present through that entire 14-year period. One of the first quotes that we got given was from Bill Mollison, and the quote basically states, "You'll know that you're doing the right thing when the resources start to pool around you." And this quote really pissed me off because it was like, wow, I just gave up all these resources in the oil and gas industry, and now you're telling I have to trust the universe to provide these so-called resources if I happen to be doing this esoteric right thing. What the heck does that mean? And how are we going to do all the stuff that we have to do on fumes? And it just didn't really make any sense. And I have to say, over the last 14 years, that quote has held true. So what are some of the ways that those resources have pooled around us?
Well, we just started in our own front yard, really. Start at your back doorstep or your own front yard. We tore out all the grass and put in a food forest. And that first weekend when you put the call out, I think we had a dozen friends and family members show up to help do that. We also started the community group, the local permaculture community group, and decided instead of just getting together for drinks as we normally did, let's actually start a society and be more formal about our intention here. So those are two places where we started. Yeah.
And every time we created an initiative, people would show up. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, things didn't go as we had thought they would go. Like we would launch courses and, very few people would show up. Luckily, we haven't had to cancel any courses, but there were times when we'd only have 8 or 9 students in a class, and it really wasn't enough to pay for all the costs. And so we didn't know how we were going to make those courses run. And interestingly enough, those courses ended up with the students that I still speak to this day. So we had very close relationships formed. And as a result of them, other resources came in different ways. And so a close friend of mine, Vaden, who works at a school, ended up getting a room donated to us. And so we were able to run these courses, in a very inexpensive way, in spite of the fact of having low registration. And so sometimes that quote doesn't necessarily mean that everything that you do is going to happen exactly as you intend it to happen. You have to be adaptive and willing to accept that the resources will come in all sorts of different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it also reminds me of not limiting your vision, right? Don't limit your vision by your current resources. There's another maybe piece of advice that served us well.
Yeah, and so, if you think about a permaculture design, it's really just a vision board. And, Tony Robbins talks about these vision boards where you kind of paint your perfect life by cutting out pictures from magazines and putting it on a piece of poster board. And a permaculture design of a property, or a life even, is really just a giant vision board with some ecological principles that help you to meet your food, energy, water, shelter, and waste needs within your life, essentially. And after you do one of these amazing permaculture designs, you can look at it and be like, how in the heck am I going to afford all of this stuff? Like, I don't have the resources for it. And so these two quotes kind of work together because if you limit your vision based upon your resources, you won't get what you actually want. And so we want to actually encourage our students to actually grow their vision. Make it more positive, make it more fun, make it more functional. Do exactly what it is that you want to do using these concepts that we deliver in a permaculture design course, and trust that the resources are going to show up in the right way.
Yeah, and that's really what our conference is going to do for people. It's going to give them that inspiration and that vision, and hopefully encourage folks to just start where we started, in our own front yard, right? And
so we could never have imagined living in in fact, I wanted to write a book called How to Save the World from Your Mother-in-Law's Basement Suite. We never could have imagined being on a farm in this passive solar greenhouse, launching a globally recognized conference, permaculture conference, and also working in a brand new company called Fifth World, where we're trying to regenerate planet Earth in a very short period of time, which I'm going to be speaking about at this conference coming up. Just because we decided to rip out a lawn 14 years ago.
Yeah.
It just, I can't even communicate that any clearer. Like, it's just, I still struggle to understand the journey that we've come from. And so even though those steps seem really tiny and insignificant, you have to start somewhere. Every journey starts with a single step. And so I invite you to come to this conference that we're putting on. Let us help you to expand your vision out and understand what's possible. We have brought together some of the world's most inspiring permaculture experts from around the world to help grow all of your collective visions, give you the tools and resources to build the life and property of your dreams, and surround yourself with a community of practitioners that are on the same path as you. And inevitably with these courses and these conferences, people come for the information because that's what they think they need, but they leave with the community. I invite you to join us on September 23rd, 24th, and 25th, and let's collectively grow our vision together and help each other to all achieve the permaculture lives that we all want to live.
See you there.